I'm at the Big Help Project's Nerve Centre in Kirby. We're about to find out a little bit more about what actually goes on here on a day-to-day basis.
The Big Help Project is an umbrella organisation that encompasses Notley Food Bank, which is at the heart of everything we do. Baby Basics, helping young vulnerable mums, debt advice through Jubilee Debt Advice, helping people back into work through our Next Steps project, helping people with digital financial inclusion, and also now we have a community shop, so helping people out in the community to be able to afford to buy goods that they need.
The food bank is a big part, but as
Yeah.
you've just explained, it's about an awful lot more than that.
It is, yeah, far more than that. It's what we're a Trussell Trust food bank, and it's what the Trussell Trust call more than food. So we are privileged to help people when they're in need and they need food and they're in crisis. But we know that's just what we often call the sticking plaster. It just covers over, helps them get over an initial crisis. What we want to do is help them make sure they don't get into that crisis again. So that's why we offer debt advice and especially help back to work or training, because that's how people's lives are changed when they get a job and they're back on their feet and they're back helping to support themselves and their family.
Okay, well, let's speak to some of the volunteers here. And Ellie is part of the Baby Basics, a part of what happens here at the Big Help, and you're here on a placement, a university student. Tell me a little bit about what Baby Basics is all about.
So it's just like at the minute we're making hampers to try and like include all the stuff that you need for a first time mum. So obviously the motion baskets for somewhere for it to sleep in, and all the clothes and nappies, baby wipes, just everything that you may need if you're struggling or if you need that bit more support.
And it's great. I mean, we can actually see one of the baskets that's packed with everything. It is almost a cradle to grave element to it all, because everybody of every age who needs help can get it. Why did you decide to get involved?
Well, I live locally. I was offered a food voucher last year through circumstance. And I thought it was time to sort of give something back, so I contacted them early this year, came in for a short informal interview, and started that same week. And I do 2 days a week now. I do Wednesdays here at the warehouse, and then I do one of the distribution centres on a Friday.
And you're helping with a whole Big Help concept.
Yeah, and I absolutely love it. You know, it's a great atmosphere. You know, it's great people to work alongside of, and it's obviously rewarding to see people go out with you know, some necessities for them and their families.
Well, one of the great people to work alongside is Sue. Making a difference is ultimately what projects like this are all about.
Without a doubt.
And you're at the coalface of this operation, and you see that people are helped. It does make a difference.
Without a doubt. Without a doubt. I mean, you can see it in people's faces each Friday when they come in with that voucher in their hand for the very first time. You know, they've been advised to come and see us. They don't know what to expect. And when you actually hand over 4 or 5 shopping bags full of food, they're absolutely in awe. They can't believe that we're giving them 3 days emergency food, chocolate for the children, soap, toothbrushes, toothpaste. It's not something that they were expecting when they came through the door. They know they're not alone. Food Bank's here to help them.
Simon and Sue talking really about the gift of giving, I suppose, which is what the Big Help Project is all about. The gift of giving that helps people who are less fortunate at different times during their lives. Let's carry on with our walkabout around the Big Help Project Nerve Centre. When you haven't got a job, no matter that it's your fault, it isn't your fault.
No.
And for most people, the vast majority of people, it's down to external circumstances, but it doesn't take away from the fact that you feel almost excluded if you haven't got a job on occasions, and for the Big Help Project to get you into employment it's a big lift, isn't it?
It is. Well, especially when I went to college and all that, you were, to a certain extent, you were almost expected to get a job when you left college. So when I came to the realisation that when I went out there was nothing really there for me, I'm sort of like a big knockout sort of thing. Because to be honest, I'd never heard of the food bank before I came here. It was only that the job centre, when I did my work experience, actually said, you know, would you like to do some volunteering? I was like, yeah, okay, see what it brings. I was only meant to be here for 2 weeks. I was here for, 8 weeks?
8 weeks.
8 weeks. So that says everything really. I love coming here.
Carla, what were the circumstances that led you initially to try and seek help at the Big Help Project, because they were extraordinary circumstances?
I was recently looking after my terminally ill son, who happened to pass away in September just gone. So I was able to go back into the working environment, but I wasn't sure how to progress with that. I got paired up with Antonia, who's helped me a great deal by helping me with CVs, application forms, job searches, but it's still ongoing.
We've supported 52 people to access the internet. We've supported 45 people with application support, and that can be, and a lot of that is on the internet. And if we didn't have the internet access, they wouldn't be able to apply for the jobs online. And we've supported 13 people with basic IT skills to be able to navigate the internet, whether it's searching Google or just navigating around the computer in general, really.
Somebody's come in with a rucksack and he's just opened the rucksack on the table and said, I haven't opened any mail for a year because I'm frightened what it says. In fact, one man said, I thought I was going to kill myself, so I haven't opened anything because it's a waste of time, and now I've decided I'm not going to kill myself. And I said, well, let's open this then. And we just sat and opened all the envelopes and sorted out what it was, and then I gave it to the debt advisors, who then worked with him and found that way out of the situation he got himself in, slowly and surely out of that situation.
It's another way in which the Big Help Project is actually helping people change their lives, turn their lives around.
We have recently opened a trading side of the Big Help Trading, and we have a community shop in Highton Village, offering people a chance to buy clothes at a very reasonable rate.
It's a true community shop. You know, we're taking this off the community and we're giving it back to the community.
It's a pretty unique partnership, isn't it, between a council and a group like this that are bringing in the sort of help that end users need.
Well, it's partly because it's a faith organisation as well. I think because they've got the people at their heart anyway, and we have to think from a political dimension. So that just makes it a natural thing to happen in that sense. So it is a true partnership.
What sort of help do you think it can provide to individuals right across the spectrum who, at this particular time, are in need of support?
Well, it is the vulnerable, you know, for whatever reason, they might have lost a job or they've had the benefits stopped and they've got nowhere to go. So they come to us, we refer them to the Big Help, and they provide as much support as they possibly can, including food parcels, advice for debts, so on and so forth. That's why it's really is important to keep the Big Help going in Knowsley, and why we're committed to supporting it.
So in 2011 I started the Big Help Project. At that point it was me working just 3 days a week. Now, just a few years later, we've got over 20 staff doing all sorts of different projects, not just a food bank, but debt advice, next steps, employability, and other things as well. We've recently started trading, opened our first shop, and our plan is over the next 4 years to try and cover all our key expenditure by our trading. So we have all sorts of plans. We want to recycle paint, we want to open more shops, we want to offer pack testing, a number of different things, all with a view to raising finance to keep the project going, to make a real difference to the people of this area.